Back on the show that's all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship. You're listening to Get Down to Business. I'm your host, Shalom Klein, joined by Dan Proft, the host of the morning show, right here in this very studio. Dan, I'm keeping your desk clean, I promise.
I appreciate that. Yeah, that's good. That'll make it nice and seamless for me tomorrow morning.
Exactly. That's the goal. So busy week last week. Trade, healthcare, gay marriage. I guess there's two ways of looking at it. Was it Obama's really good week or the GOP's really bad week?
Well, look, I think it was a good week for President Obama and a good week for people that don't have a particular concern about the three co-equal branches of government that undergird our representative republic. I don't know if that's victory. I don't know if for example, in the Obamacare decision, 6 million plus policy cancellations, higher premiums for people who play by the rules, worse care for poor people, and a constriction of choice with respect to your doctors and healthcare providers. I don't know. I guess that's victory for the left. I don't know that that's something that we should celebrate, which is why Obamacare continues to be unpopular every single day since it was passed, including today, including last week after the Supreme Court's decision, this torturous political opinion that Judge Roberts authored again. So if that's what victory looks like for the left, then I guess that's their victory, but it is a defeat for a free society, and it's a defeat in the case of Obamacare, or SCOTUS care, as Scalia properly termed it. It's a defeat for people that want increased access to quality health care at lower costs.
The Chief Justice, John Roberts, said Congress passed the Affordable Care Act to improve health insurance markets, not to destroy them. I'm assuming you disagree with that statement.
Well, I mean, that may have been their intention, but that's not the basis in which the Supreme Court is supposed to make decisions. It's supposed to interpret the law. And I guess, we're just in an era of redefinition. Black is white and male is female and female is male, and taxation is penalty. That was the previous Judge Roberts' opinion on Obamacare. And now state government is not state government. State government is whatever the administration wants it to be, or the IRS wants it to be, for the purposes of sustaining this law that was passed. And so, to your point, Obamacare, according to Roberts, is not so much a law as a desire. And so we should have the Supreme Court enter into the legislative rulemaking where the legislature, in his own words, fell down on the job. Well, because it was just a desire and not a law, we're not here to interpret it, we're here to remedy it. Well, that's a very different role for the Supreme Court than was contemplated by judicial review in Marbury versus Madison, or what we've lived under for the better part of the last 240 years. So I guess there's no need for Congress or state legislative bodies because we have Judge Roberts in the Supreme Court.
Well, any members of the United States Senate that opposed John Roberts at the time, they I guess they're laughing now. President Obama is. I think it is fair to say that he had a pretty victorious week. Whether that's good for the American people or not, that's up for debate. There were a few other interesting things other than, as you called it, SCOTUS care that happened. There was obviously the president's trade deal, more power to the executive branch of government, as well as a win on gay marriage. Today was the Gay Pride Parade, and we had United States Senator Mark Kirk participating, which was a pretty big deal. Is this the end of that debate, or are we now on to the next issue?
No, I don't think so. I don't think it's the end of the gay marriage debate at all. No more than the Roe v. Wade decision was the end of the abortion debate. Here's what happens when the Supreme Court interjects itself when we're having a national debate on a particular issue of moral conscience and substitutes itself for popular opinion and for the legitimate role of state legislative bodies. The debate rages on. And so when Blackmun issued his decision, his opinion in Roe v. Wade, did that settle the debate on abortion? No, of course, this has been a debate that has raged for the 43 years since, every single year, every single day of every single year. The same thing is going to happen with marriage redefinition, because the Supreme Court's decision wasn't just about redefining marriage. It was about elevating homosexuality to a protected class in the same way that race, for example, is a protected class. So now we're going to see all kinds of new areas that are going to be litigated and challenged, starting with, for example, does a church have the right to deny hosting a wedding for a gay couple, or is that now inherently discriminatory in their 501c3 status, a preferred status the government confers? Is that in jeopardy? That's an open question.
Likely that debate will continue. We're talking with Dan Proft, the host of the morning show right here on AM 560 The Answer. Dan, we're running out of time, but I wonder, I'm sure you probably saw the same pictures that I did of the White House lit up in colors of the rainbow. I wonder, what was that lighting equipment doing during the Bush administration? Do you think that they found a different use for it during those years?
Yeah, right.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but I'm not sure exactly where they got that. It's certainly they had it ready to roll, but
they had it ready.
Where was that lighting even a few years ago when President Obama opposed the position that he holds now?
Well, the equipment was there. They had it ready, and now I guess hopefully stewards of good government spending hopefully will find another use for that equipment and find some other cause to celebrate, probably not at the White House. So Dan Proft, tune in tomorrow morning to AM 560, The Answer, to hear Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on The Morning Answer. Dan, as always, we appreciate your analysis, thoughts, and insights.
Great. Thanks a lot.
We'll talk to you real soon after the break. We're talking with Matt Sloan of American Enterprise Bank, and we're going to continue the conversation about small business jobs and entrepreneurship.